The massive Viridian warship descended through Earth's atmosphere with the casual arrogance of an empire that had conquered 1,000 worlds. Its gleaming hull reflected sunlight as it positioned itself directly above the United Nations headquarters in New York. Admiral Krell stood tall on the bridge, his scaled skin catching the light from the monitoring stations. "These humans will learn their place, like all others before them," he said to his officers. "They will provide tribute or face extinction." On Earth, the emergency session of the UN Security Council had devolved into chaos. Representatives from all nations shouted over one another until General Thomas Morgan, head of Earth's newly formed United Defense Force, slammed his fist on the table. "Enough," he bellowed. The room fell silent. "The Viridian Empire has given us 24 hours to decide. Submit and provide annual tribute of resources and conscripts, or face what they call pacification." The Russian delegate leaned forward. "What are our options, realistically?" Morgan's face remained impassive. "Their technology exceeds ours by approximately 2 centuries. Their empire spans 17 star systems. They have never lost a war." A heavy silence descended upon the room until the British representative spoke. "So we surrender?" "No," Morgan said, his voice quiet but firm. "We fight." Murmurs of disbelief rippled through the chamber. "With all due respect, General," the Chinese delegate said, "you just outlined why resistance is futile." Morgan nodded to his aide, who distributed tablets to each representative. "What you're looking at is Operation Prometheus, our response to the Viridian ultimatum." The delegates scrolled through the documents, faces paling as they absorbed the details. "This isn't a military strategy," the American representative whispered. "This is total war." "Precisely," Morgan confirmed. "The Viridians expect us to behave like every other species they conquered, to either submit immediately or mount a conventional defense that they can methodically dismantle. They don't understand humans." Morgan activated the central display, showing the Viridian Empire's territorial expanse. Every other species they've encountered evolved in stable environments. Their civilizations developed gradually, predictably. But Earth, our planet, tried to kill us every step of the way. We evolved in an endless series of catastrophes and conflicts. He zoomed in on the Viridian fleet deployment. "They expect us to act rationally according to their definition of rationality, to recognize superior force and calculate our odds. That's their mistake. Humans don't fight only when we can win. We fight when we must, regardless of cost." "And you believe we must?" asked the Indian representative. "I do," Morgan replied, "because the tribute they demand isn't just resources, it's our children. 500,000 humans annually to serve as labor and soldiers, to fight their wars of conquest against other species." The chamber fell silent again. "Operation Prometheus begins with apparent capitulation," Morgan continued. "We agreed to their terms, invite their representatives to Earth to formalize the arrangement. Meanwhile, every nuclear power activates its arsenal, not for use against the Viridians directly. That would be ineffective against their shields. Instead, we detonate them in our own upper atmosphere." "You want to EMP our own planet?" The French delegate was incredulous. "Yes. We destroy our own infrastructure before they can use it or control it. Simultaneously, we deploy our own fleets, not to fight their warships, but to scatter. Thousands of vessels, military and civilian, loaded with our best scientists, engineers, and soldiers, using the confusion to escape the solar system in all directions." Morgan's eyes hardened, and each ship carries the knowledge to build something the Viridians have never encountered: autonomous, self-replicating weapons platforms. Von Neumann machines designed for one purpose: to multiply and destroy Viridian infrastructure across their empire. "You're proposing a guerrilla war on a galactic scale," the Japanese representative said quietly. "I'm proposing we show them that conquering Earth doesn't end the threat we pose. It only removes all constraints on our response," Morgan corrected. "The Viridians conquered species who fight to survive. Humans will fight long past the point where survival is possible, simply to ensure our conqueror's victory tastes like ash." The Brazilian representative shook her head. "The cost to Earth would be catastrophic." "Yes," Morgan agreed. "Billions would die in the initial phase alone, but humanity would survive, and the Viridian Empire would face an enemy unlike any they've known, one that doesn't value self-preservation above all, one willing to sacrifice everything to ensure the enemy's defeat. The Security Council debated through the night. When dawn broke over New York, their decision was unanimous. Earth would appear to submit, while secretly initializing Operation Prometheus. 12 hours later, Admiral Krell received Earth's response. He smiled as he read their acceptance of terms. Another simple conquest. 3 days later, as the formal delegation prepared to land, Earth vanished from Viridian sensors in a series of electromagnetic pulses. By the time they re-established observation, thousands of small craft had scattered beyond their immediate reach. On his flagship, Admiral Krell received an unexpected transmission, a direct message from General Morgan. "You offered us a choice between tribute and war," Morgan's recorded message stated calmly. "We have chosen neither. You threatened extinction, so we have made ourselves impossible to extinguish. We will not fight your warships. We will not challenge your dominance directly. Instead, we will become like a cancer within your empire, spreading, multiplying, consuming from within." Morgan's expression hardened. "You should have studied Earth's history before threatening us. You might have learned that humans don't surrender when faced with overwhelming force. We adapt. We change the nature of the conflict. You demanded tribute. In response, Earth has declared total war, not a war you can win with your fleets, but one that will never end until your empire crumbles to dust." The transmission ended, leaving Admiral Krell staring at a blank screen, experiencing for the first time an unfamiliar sensation: doubt. The Galactic War had begun.